The Minister has brushed aside criticism about the impact of the prospect of an EU referendum, claiming it would be more risky to stand back and do nothing than tackle the issue head-on. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland, Mr Cameron warned other European leaders that any attempt to shoehorn countries into ever deeper union was a mistake that Britain wouldn't be part of.
And it's not just right for the United Kingdom, it is necessary for Europe.
Well, let's get some more reaction to this now. Peter Kersh is Managing Director of New Era, which is a business that makes fish food for aquariums and other marine attractions. Very good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us. You're a significant exporter to some European countries. Do you welcome the prospect of a referendum?
Absolutely not. No, I think it's a real retrograde step, and we have to move forward as a country, not backwards. I think the European question is one that we can't get away from the fact that we're in Europe and inextricably linked to it. We are Europeans, and I feel we should embrace it fully. Our stance is always from the sidelines, and I feel it's totally impossible to play on the proverbial football pitch that everybody talks about, the cliches which have been knocking around for the past few days. If we're going to play in the team, we have to play very on the pitch, and we have to play a very strong part in that. At the moment, and historically, we've always chirped in from the sidelines, and unfortunately our sidelines, the bench that we're sitting on, is still very much stuck on the cliffs of Dover and still facing inwards.
You as a businessman obviously benefit from being part of Europe. Do you think the rest of the country, though, should be given a say after all this time?
Well, maybe it's a good idea that we do have a say, but there's a lot of things got to happen before we get to that stage, and I very much fear that that won't even happen. Mr Cameron has got to win the next election, and then he has to negotiate a new position, and I'm afraid the negotiating stance that we have at the moment is from the sidelines, and I just think there's absolutely no possibility that they will get what they want out of it, whatever that may be. We don't know what they want. So to get to a referendum is still a long way off. And in the meantime, we have years of uncertainty about what's going to happen, which is absolutely disastrous, not just for my company, but for everybody in the country.
How damaging would it be?
I think it'll be very serious, because I think we will continue to be on the sidelines, and we won't be able to continue to make decisions on our business in the long term, which we want to do. If there is some uncertainty starts, because of all this, exchange rates may start to fluctuate. It may get more expensive for people to buy our products. It may get more expensive for us to buy some of the raw materials that we use, and all those sorts of things will start to add costs, and eventually, jobs may have to go because we can't compete.
What about a renegotiated position within Europe, though? Are you totally happy with our relationship with the EU at the moment? Is there nothing that could be made better?
No, I think if you take my earlier point, I think we have to embrace Europe for what it is. We are part of it, and we should be in that. When you start from a baseline which is strong and which says, yes, we embrace where we are part of Europe, that's not the question, then you can move forward and debate some of the details about how you want Europe to look. There's no way that any of the Germans or the French or the Italians or any nation within the EU wants to lose their identity, wants to lose their power. Everybody wants the same for their own country, but let's do it from a very strong base, which means, yes, we embrace it, but let's sort out some of the details about what we like and what we don't like, and how the whole thing can be better for everybody going forward. We can't do the cherry-picking thing from the edges. We have to be more strong from within, and in that way, there's a better chance that we can get what we want out of it, or what we believe we want out of it.
And if the several criteria that have been laid out are met, and the referendum does indeed go ahead 4 or 5 years from now, if it went with the no vote, how damaging would that be?
Well, we would very seriously, and this is not a joke, but I smile because I cringe at the thought, we would very seriously have to look at relocating our business into a country that is more amenable to doing business. I don't want to be part of something which is floating in the middle of the Atlantic with nowhere to go. We will be less powerful than we would be if we were part of a very strong Europe.
Okay, Peter Kersh, very good of you to join us. Thanks very much.